Get your vitamin D right here with me and get excited about your life.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are tuned in to the Vitamin D podcast, and I am your host, Dawn Dai, here to get you excited about your life so that you can live life on purpose and for a purpose. Now, if this is your first time, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for choosing yourself. Vitamin D, it's my baby. It's a pun off my name. You know, my name is Dawn, right? Which means the sun. So I am here to shed light into your life. And I do this by using inspirational insights and conversations with celebrities and everyday people like you and me. It's all about being better and doing better and seeing better. And sometimes that requires for you to cut on the light. And that's what we're here to do. So thank you for joining me. Oh, and let me not forget, because I've kind of missed this on the past few episodes in the beginning. Please be sure to check out the YouTube channel, Dawn Dai Speaks. All of the interviews that you are listening right here, you can catch the visuals on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Vanessa Bell Calloway, Major, Kier, Carla, Anthony Hamilton. The list goes on and on. Check it out so you can get inspired. Okay. Now, today, I like to call this kind of episode my go-off episode, or like my check-in, because it's just me talking to you, giving you an update of what's going on my end and what's happening in my life and how I'm using my words to inspire myself and to hold myself accountable. So I haven't really shared this outwardly yet. I mean, it's known. If you follow, you may have noticed something may have changed, but I resigned from my job. Working with the Steve Harvey Morning Show as the digital content producer, to take a chance on me, to live out my dreams, everything that I say and I implore everyone to do. Because you know we're going to die, right? And you know, I always say you got to live while you're still alive. And while you're living, you got to live full out. You know, I find sometimes, even with myself, being in positions where you're waiting for somebody else's permission to do something, waiting for somebody to give you the green light, thinking that you have to rely on someone else to be your best self when you are enough. You have everything in your life to succeed. And I made this decision because I decided I wanted to go more in with Dawn, to grow more on Dawn, to take flight of everything that I've dreamed of. And is it scary? Yes. Do I have the map out plan of what the next step is? No, but I got the faith of my dreams. And I'm holding myself accountable. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not the first time that I've left a job and took a jump. But it was definitely more difficult this time, or challenging. And I actually got annoyed with myself. It's something interesting about when you get older, right? The further we get from being that mind of a child, it seems as though more of the fear and the apprehension seems to set in. And I was looking at myself because I'm like, Dawn, I don't even recognize you. Like, when are you hesitant about what you want to do? Usually I make up my mind for something and then I do it. Right? Now, in this case, I still did it, but it was something in this transition process of making decisions to do it that kind of like made me feel uncomfortable. And not the uncomfortable where you need to grow, but uncomfortable like, Dawn, why are you like hesitant? And because I am I have coined myself as somebody to be daring and somebody to take a chance, it just caused a little friction. But we're in a pandemic right now. There are so many people without jobs, people that are losing their lives, and yet I still chose to take a chance on me. You know, it just kind of reminds me of the story of kind of like Moses and the Red Sea. You know, this brother stood in front of the sea, and God was like, yo, you can't go back. He only had a way to go forward, and forward for as far as his eye could see was water. But it was the faith, you know, that said, okay, we got to still do this. And I look at the pandemic in the way of like this sea, this massive sea as far as the eye can see. And I made the decision to move my way through it. And it's challenging. And so far, you know, my last day was April 30th. And I'm still here. I've managed to keep myself busy. But I want to say to you, and I want to encourage you to take a chance on yourself. To go out there and live your best life for you. Now, I cried countless tears, but I know the promise that's been on my life, like the promise that would dawn of being great, and that causes me to get out there and speak. I want to use all my gifts. I want to live full out. And if you find yourself, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in another job situation, whether it's with friends, do what you got to do so you can soar. And oftentimes what prevents us from soaring is this whole idea of this wind, this extra air because you decided to lift your arms up. But it's only when you lift your arms up do you know that you can reach the sky. And in reaching the sky, guess where the stars are? That's where the stars are that are meant to shine. So I know that I'm meant to shine. And it made me kind of think of some lyrics to some songs. And you know how if you catch me on some other days, usually Wednesday and Friday, I do my traditional vitamin D where I'm using the lyrics of popular music and I focus on the song. And this one, it was like a couple songs that came my way. One that stood out the most is by Aloe Blacc entitled My Way. And it kind of reflected, or not kind of, it reflects or mirrors kind of like my views on my dreams and my life. Because, you know, you can look back and you stand there and you see, it's like, wow, you're working with one of the biggest celebrities in the world. And when I tell you, I've worked my entire life in radio. I fell in love with radio as a kid when we used to go to the remotes. I mean, like if they were at the skating rink or at the state fair, at the carnival. You know, you get your shirts and they be screaming in the concerts. I was like, wow, radio is for the people. And to get to a point where you're at the #1 syndicated urban AC show. And I had to make a decision to choose Dawn. And I don't want people to be afraid to choose you. You can never go wrong with doing you. Because once you do you, you realize that that's the only way you can be true. So it made me think about Aloe Blacc because it could look like it's foolish for me to leave, right? But he says in his lyrics, people say I'm foolish. People say I'm blinded by faith. If I crash, I don't care. I'm going to do it my way. Here's the thing. When it comes down to making decisions, even what I find with myself, it's so normal to go after someone else and ask them what their opinions and what their views are. And perhaps as a scapegoat, because if it turns out not the way we wished, we can say, oh, I shouldn't have listened to such and such, or I should have listened to such and such. But what if you just really took time in yourself to figure out what it is that you want? You can't regret it because you did the best that you know how in that moment. But oh my gosh, having the regret of saying that you never did and you never tried. And so I want to be that living example. I want to be that beacon of light. Hear me out. I have no intentions of failing. That's where my faith lies. It reminds me of the song by Hillsong, Oceans. Spirit, lead me where my faith is without borders. Let me walk upon the water wherever you will call me. Walking on water. Let my faith stand where my feet fail. Can you dig it? Oftentimes you say you want something in life, but I have a question for you. How bad do you want it? In a room of darkness. Imagine that. A room of endless possibilities because no one else has stepped on to cut on the light. In the room of darkness, will you choose to be the light? Will you choose to be your own light to go after your passions, your desires, and your dreams? That's what I had to ask myself. Could I be okay with taking my last breath, knowing that there was more or something else that I wanted to do that I did not do it? I don't know about you, but I'm trying to die empty. And if it means being scared, so be it. Because I got to look at my circumstances. Right now, I'm not in a committed relationship. Right now, I don't have any children that depend on me. So Dawn, why aren't you living all the way out that you want to? If I have this faith, these are the conversations, these are the things that I said to myself. If I have this faith in who I am and what my purpose is, if I don't believe in me, if I'm not willing to take a chance on my dreams, what makes it think that someone else will? Whether it is a network, whether it is a radio station, whether it is a clothing line, whether it is a modeling agency, whether it is an artistic company, whatever it is, Dawn Dai, has to be willing to take a chance on me. And that's what I'm doing. I can't tell you what the future holds and how the ride will be, but I guess what? I'm telling you that I'm going. because I know the promise. I am so convicted in what I'm doing. And, it's interesting, like looking at the greats, and this is a conversation I had to say with myself, looking at people that I admire. They've all taken a chance on themselves. Heck, Harvey himself. He talked about, I think his date was October 9th, and he just quit his job. I think he was working for a carpet company or something like that. Lived in his car for a year, and look at him now. I told you, my plans are to be bigger than Oprah. And it does get scary. Yes, because it's out of the comfort zone. I'm coloring outside of the lines. I'm going into uncharted territory. Yeah. It's not like I can call my mother. Both of my parents are deceased, or anyone to help me, but I'm going to take a chance on Dawn. Because I don't know what's worse, the fear of feeling like what it would be like to be without, or the fear or the anxiety created of knowing that I never lived. Some people live to die and some people die to live. Which one do you choose? I choose to live in order to die, because I want to die empty. I want to die knowing that I gave it all out. I want to die knowing that I helped pencil in somebody else to be their best life, or perhaps serve as that eraser to make them forget all the things that are not the best. I want to be that person that somebody looks at me and say, Dawn, because of you, I can. Dawn, because of you, I did. Dawn, because of you, I will. So that's what I had to make the decision to do. And even Atlo, he continues to say, in the darkness, I don't hide, because I got pride that gives me clarity. You see, the option of defeat is not in my story. So if you are convicted, just like I had to be convicted with my dreams, me not being bigger than Oprah is not an option. Oftentimes I feel like when we don't take a chance on something, it's because we feel like as though there's an opportunity to fail. But I have the mindset that you can't fail if you don't quit. And I've said this before, just as my old barber, Louis T. Powell, would say, he says, the journey is in the experience, and the experience is in the journey. I'm trying to experience life. No, I'm not trying, because in life, you either do it or you don't. I am experiencing life. And oftentimes, we have a tendency to hold on to things, whether it's relationships, whether it's stuff in our house, whether in some situations, a job, but yet we're seeking more. Well, how about we get in the notion that we have to make room? And sometimes it's clearing things out. And we see that a bit. Oftentimes people say, how meditation and how important that is. And basically, that's a clearing out of the mind so that you can go within. And when you make room, you allow other things to come in. So I'm welcoming a new thing. And I want you to welcome a new thing, a new you. Get outside of this whole comfortable bubble, because there's more, far exceedingly and beyond. And guess what? You can have it all, which takes me to another track that I was thinking about. DJ Khaled, he has this new album out, Khaled. And I'm telling you right now, I've been listening to it. I would say 90% of the track is vitamin D. It's a whole inspirational album. Love all the tracks. And there's this track entitled I Can Have It All, and it's featuring Post Malone and Megan Thee Stallion. And it says, one of the lyrics, I can have it all, knowing I was special from a young age. I don't think it's a coincidence how they say to have a heart and a mind as a child. Because a heart and a mind of a child, there is no fear. They just do. They just dream. They anything that's impossible, it's possible for them because they have the imagination. And just like I was telling you, this frustration that hit me as to whether or not I'm going to leave this job, it was because I was letting too much of the stuff come in. I forgot the magic of Dawn. My gift is my voice. It's the speaking, not only the sound of my voice, but how I use my words. And who am I not to use my words, even to speak life in myself? And it's interesting that I think oftentimes we forget the power of the tongue. I've said it before. I got life tatted in my mouth because life and death are in the power of the tongue. And even if you are a spiritual or religious person, they say that at first there was the Word, and the Word was with God. And so with that, you have to realize the power of the word within yourself. You have to speak things over yourself. And realize that everything that you've been working for right now, it's happening right now. And you have to declare to yourself and make that promise. And this is also what they say in the track. Made myself a promise I'm going to win. You trying to win? You can't try to win a game, start yelling from the sidelines. You got to get in the game of life and you got to play. You got to take the shot. You got to take the kick. You got to take the chance. Because if you ain't going to take a chance on you, who's going to take a chance? So I had to take a chance on Dawn. Yeah, I cried many a times. But then I'm reminded of the blessings that come, the TV shows, the job opportunities, the sketches that I'm doing. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing. I'm speaking on it. I still have every intention of being bigger than Oprah. Every intention of still being on SNL. I have every intention of doing it all because the option of defeat is not written in my story. See, I think oftentimes we get so many options of what the possibility of something could be rather than just what it is. Like, speak the truth on your life and declare that so. You have to see it as it's your reality. Because if you can create the life that you want, then you got to speak in it. You got to walk in it. You got to do everything in it to be in it. And then you realize that when you operate in your gift, when you operate in your true self, that is nothing but a service to someone else. See, your gift is meant so that you can present it to someone else. And when you withhold your gift because of whatever insecurity, you're not only doing your own self a disservice, but you're doing everyone else in the world around you a disservice. It's just like the life cycle. You know, it can be kind of sad in the situation of some animals die so other people can live. Well, you got to live out your dreams so other people can live out their dreams. How dare you hold your gifts to yourself? How selfish is that? There are so many people I can tell you right now that probably needs to hear your story. Whether your story comes within the form of your hands, like me and my voice, whether it comes with art, math, science, take a chance and do it. There's a reason why it's on your heart to do it. Do it. Don't you want to be great? In fact, why wouldn't you want to be great? Why wouldn't you want to be your best self? And the thing that's so interesting is that when we have these dreams and desires of our hearts, these gifts that come to us, they're an instrument of our peace. There's a moment of relaxation. Oftentimes people say, Dawn, how do I decide on the life that I want? I don't know what my dream is. I don't know what my purpose is. And I always say, do whatever it is that makes you happy. Do whatever it is that you find your most peace in. Do whatever it is that keeps you going and keeps that sense of happiness. That is your purpose. Because when you give yourself permission to shine, you give others the permission to shine. You also serve as a beacon of light to other people. We heard it when we were younger, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So you got to let it shine. Let it shine. You just got to let that bad boy shine and realize that I'm going to live out my dreams. You got to live out your dreams. And just like Aloe Blacc stated, every time they build a wall around me, I will tear it down and say, I'm going to live my dreams. Got to live my dreams. You can't let relationships, jobs, circumstances build up a wall around you, a wall that's going to keep you imprisoned from traveling and discovering your best self. And you got to remember that people who are not you, people that don't understand the vision for your life are going to think that you're foolish. They're going to think you're crazy. But remember, you have to get within and know the reason why you are designed and why your faith is in yourself, and know that you have to do it your way. And guess what? Just like any graphic chart on the way up, as you progress through times, it's wiggly. There's no straight line towards it. But imagine the peace of mind knowing that you did it your way, because even on your way of failing, you're still towards success because you're learning a different way of not doing something. So is it really failure then? I think not. I've decided to take a chance on myself. And it's going to be exciting. I'm so excited about what's to come. I'm so excited about what's to be. I'm so excited of discovering who I am. I even appreciate the fact that I got annoyed with myself about this hesitation to take a chance on me. Because oftentimes we get through life of just moving and functioning that we forget to sit with self. I don't know about you, but oftentimes we get in the mirror, but how many times have you really seen yourself? Because you know how sometimes you get in there and look and say, oh my gosh, when did this pop up? Oh, when did this happen? It happened because we're moving. Every single day, you have an opportunity to take a chance on yourself, to live out your dreams, to save a life, to just be present in the moment, to gift yourself with your best life. So that's what I'm doing. So this road is going to be exciting. I'm excited that I can stand up against everything that I'm telling everyone else to do, and you get to see it happen in real time. We're going to see how it unfolds, and I already know what's written in my destiny. So I'm just going to walk in it. I'm going to walk in it confidently. And it doesn't mean, and being confident in something doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. It just means that even though you are in the storm, you have what it takes to weather it. And what you have to realize too, if you're in a situation where you're feeling any sort of discontent, whether it's because of your environment or whether because within you know that you are going to do more, just ask yourself this. What does a garden produce that's full of weeds? What are you trying to produce? What are you looking for to grow? And you got to understand this too, in this whole moment and transitioning of growing and going after your dreams and taking a chance, that a lot of this work that you're doing is everything that is the foundation and it's the roots. Well, let's think of it. Just like any other plant, any other tree, any other thing that's growing from the ground, we realize the taller they are, the deeper the roots are, how more connected they are to the center, to the core, to earth. Now imagine earth being you. And your core, what's sprouting from your planet? What's in your atmosphere? What's the clarity of the sun shining down on your life? It's just something to think about. So I hadn't had a chance to share, but I wanted to share that with you. Yeah, Dawn Dai is taking another chance. We're taking another leap. And you know, I did that when I left from New York and I moved to, when I left from DC actually, and I moved to New York, I didn't have a job. Ended up working at the #1 station in the country, WBLS. Got an article for New York Times. Then moved to LA, no job. Ended up, working at a TV production company. We produced a lot of episodes for Unsung, which is on TV1. Had the opportunity to be on a television show, Curvy Star with Timothy Snell. The stylist for one of the women that I admire most in my life, Queen Latifah, the one who said that I'm possible, right? Had a dream of meeting her and being in that orbit. To now I'm taking the chance on Dawn of leaving my job, working with Steve Harvey. My God, what's to come? Only greater is coming. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm professing on my life. And I don't care how sweet it tastes or how shiny it looks. If it's not true to you, you gotta do you, boo. You're worth it. You are worth taking that chance on. Because oftentimes we find ourselves in situations, relationships, jobmanships, putting so much weight of our value in someone else's hands. And it's like, well, when do we take the steering wheel and take control of our life? Drive the roads that which we choose. Hey, you go down this path, maybe you're gonna need some chains on your tires because it's a lot of snow. Maybe you're gonna have to check your traction and your brakes because the roads are slippery. Make sure that you have enough gas and enough engine power to go up that hill. You know, whatever it is, you know exactly what you need to equip yourself to the life that you want. Because oftentimes we ask for this life, but remember, like I've said it before, you have to have the capacity to hold it. And if you have so much stuff that you're holding on to, where is the room that you're going to hold on to your life of your dreams? Your hands are so full. You have to make room. So I'm in a season of making room. Making room for Dawn to live out her wildest dreams. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be scary. But more importantly, I'm excited because I'm doing Dawn. Yeah. And I hope that encourages you to do you too. And people are going to look at you like you're crazy. Why would you do this? You don't have anything planned, but you got to remember to listen to the voice within And that's when you have to take note for Lauryn Hill and doo-wop. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? Come again. See, when you're not out here living your passion, when you're not out here living your truth and your relationship and love and life and friendship, you can't win like that. Not truly. It'll be a falsified moment. It's kind of like something that's calcified. Just stuff hardening on top of it just as a shield of protection. But just imagine being limber and free and flying, kind of like a bird or a hawk in the sky. They just fly. They glide with the wind. And the view is amazing up there, right? I want that for you. I want you to elevate into your best self because I think you deserve it. I think that's a testament of knowing that you are your greatest asset because, we talk about this life bank account and we talk about what you put in and what you take out. And every time you put in, oftentimes you're going to take out. But remember, it's about that balance. You're not going to be in balance doing something that doesn't ring true with your heart and exercising all your gifts and abilities. You're actually taking away from yourself. And you're putting yourself in the negative because there's a ceiling that you're putting on from your growth, a ceiling of you wanting to do more and to be more because your dreams, they're outside of your situation right now, right? So how are you going to reach it by staying under this cap? How are you going to reach it being afraid? How are you going to reach it without being confident in your ability and your thought process and your actions? How? And then we get in this mode where we go in possibly depression, have the anxiety or fear, talking about what we want. But it's like the reality of it, you really don't want it because if you want it, you would do it. Like your body wants to breathe. In fact, your body needs to breathe. There's no option like, I'm not going to breathe today or I'm not going to breathe for a couple of hours. No, your body yearns for that. So when are you going to let your dreams breathe so they can live? They're a part of you, don't you think they deserve it? Don't you think you deserve it? I want you to be great. I want you to have abundance. I want you to live knowing that you lived your life for you. The constraints we put on ourselves trying to make other people comfortable, fitting into the box that somebody put us in or subscribe to that label, it's just like being a thief to our joy. Not just happiness, but your joy. See, joy is the state of being. And when that joy is taken away from you, and especially if you are the one responsible of it, ooh-wee, that's not what's up. And I feel and know that you deserve more than that. And you realize, too, that how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you get used to the fact of numbing yourself to be in a predicament or a situation, a job, a relationship, a cohort, a friendship, you realize that you just take from yourself. And in taking from yourself, that makes you unhappy. It starts to actually eat away. But if we're talking about living our best life and living life in abundance, that is going to require us to feed ourselves. And I don't know about you, but my dreams feed me. Staying true to Dawn feeds me. And here's the thing. You got to have grace in this moment because just as beings, we're constantly growing. We're constantly morphing into more of what we are and growing into something new. But what stays constant with us is how our actions prevail, how we do things, how we choose to see things. You have to choose to see yourself in the best light. Because when you do that, you give yourself permission to shine, and you shine by staying true. See, there are so many others out there, but there's only one of you that has that gift that can do only that you can do. And how amazing is it that you are the only one that can truly do your gift the way you do it because it was assigned to you, and then living it out. Stop playing with me. So I'm living it out this time. I'm taking another chance on Dawn, seeing where it goes. I might be crying tomorrow, the next day after that, but I'm going to keep going. Because if I crash and I burn, I'm going to know that I did it my way. Hey. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you received something from that. And I want to encourage you to, again, check us out on YouTube to check out some of the amazing interviews that you've heard here. And so you could put a visual representation at Dawn Dai Speaks on YouTube. Make sure you tell your friends to tell their friends about us. Spread the light, spread the gift of joy about what it means to love on yourself, because we all deserve to shine, right? We just got to ignite the passion, ignite the drive. And we realize how much joy there is from giving. Like, the joy comes from knowing how you inspired somebody else. How now, because of you, they can. Share this podcast. Because we all need to eat. Not somebody, we all need to eat. The nutritiousness of self, the nutritiousness of what comes from dreams, okay? So go ahead and do that. And in the meantime, if you want more vitamin D in your life, I want to encourage you to follow me on all social media at Dawn Dai Speaks. Can you dig it? And get this, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, or in fact, you need some advice on your relationship, your career, about love, about whatever, shoot us an email, VitaminD@DawnDaiSpeaks.com. And we'll check it out. And I want to tell you right now, if you're going to email for some advice, know that vitamin D is all about shedding the light. So that's going to be the good and the bad, because in order to be better, you have to see better. And when you see better, you do better. Okay? All right. So I can't wait to check in with you next time. And so until next time, I want you to always remember that you are your greatest asset.